It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals back in lovely Lauderdale by the Sea. It's good to be home. It's good to be home. As you know, I was kind of stuck in Baltimore for the last 3 or 4 days. Sorry about getting last night's report out, but man, got a good night's sleep, and there's nothing like your own bed, your own place. I got to tell you, there's no place like home, as Dorothy used to say. All right, let's take a look at take a look at the underwater cam here. Got a few barracudas up there. You know, it's a lot harder to see the predators when the water is cloudy, and the predators know this as well. And you know, I always like to take the fishing, my fishing comments, and kind of weave them into how life is in general. You know, cloudy waters, predators, all this kind of stuff, and it is true. You know, when the waters are cloudy, it's much harder for you to see the predators, and I think the predators know that. That's probably why they cloudy up the waters. My wisdom, my gosh, I'm even impressing myself here. Not really. So let's get into my quote of the day, actually. Go figure, right? Thomas Jefferson, one of my favorite peeps of all time. Boy, if there was another Thomas Jefferson around running for office, he'd be my man for sure. And let me turn that phone off. Sorry about that, folks. And give me a second here. And let me see. What country, it was actually my aunt calling me. I haven't spoken to her for a while, but the show must go on. I'll give her a call back. Okay, Thomas Jefferson. What country can preserve its liberties if its rulers are not warned from time to time that their people preserve the spirit of resistance? Let them take arms. You make of it as what you want here, my comment and the quote here, but you know, I think to some point that the people that govern us, the people that, well, actually the people that work for us, but I don't think they believe that anymore, the officials in government, and they should be afraid of us, folks. It shouldn't be the other way around. I think things have been reversed for quite some time, and I believe, humbly in my opinion, it is time to make these I almost said the F word. It's time to make these bastards afraid of us. And how do you do that? Well, read more quotes here. And read your founding fathers. They tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. So if you know a little bit about history and you start reading Thomas Jefferson and your other founding fathers, they'll explain to you how to keep your freedoms. Exactly. You know why and how they'll explain it to you? Because they've already done it. They did it for us. So if you listen to the founding fathers and what they have to say, we should be fine. If we ignore their advice and we ignore the Constitution and the things that they gave us, and some of them laid their lives down to give us, then we're screwed, folks. And that's exactly what we got going on. Never forget history, never forget the past, and don't forget the founding fathers that left us this wonderful country and this Constitution, this wonderful Constitution that gives us the right to bear arms and gives us the right to rule our people, not rule our, go figure, that was a Freudian slip, or a slip, gives us the right to rule the people that rule us. And remember, they work for us, folks. They don't think so sometimes. Another quote by Hunter Thompson. As you know, my theme of the year is question authority. I do it at the end of the videos here. And I didn't know that Hunter S. Thompson actually said this: never fire a warning shot. It's a waste of ammunition. Don't ask me why I threw that in there. I just thought it was fitting given the Jefferson quote there. Well, let's take a look at precious metal prices right here. I'm going to do a quick, here we go, refresh right here. And yeah, the market said bull last night. The coin said bull last night. Remember, I got the show done late. It wasn't in the morning. And I threw the coin out for this morning, and it was actually right here. And this morning it says bull again. So maybe we're in for a bull market for the rest of the day and the opening tonight. Silver making its move back up to that $25 mark. It's held on to this $24 mark really well. Let's talk about gold first. So 1942, up about 10 bucks. The low of 1925, the overnight. And the high of 1942, which we're sitting right now. So it looks like it's up in the New York Crimex markets. And silver currently $24.92, again making its move to that $25 mark. I kind of felt it last night. I had a gut feeling I think we were going to see markets up overall, given that last week was mostly flat, and here we are. Silver's up 35 cents. Currently sitting at its high at $24.92, as you can see, and platinum just languishing. I mean, wow. I just think platinum is at its dead bottom low. I mean, if you want to buy a metal at its low, this is it, man. I didn't think it was going to stay sub $1,000 for long. I thought it was going to kind of follow gold and silver, but it has not. Typically, too, platinum will follow gold and silver. I mean, that's its other two siblings. Don't ask me about palladium. That's an entirely different family. But platinum should follow the price of gold and silver when it starts making its move upwards, and it just seems so damn cheap. Here's what I think about platinum, in my opinion, is that I see limited downside. I can't say that about silver. I still see that we could get monkey hammered by the big collusive manipulative banks on the Crimex markets, but below 24 and down to that $23 range once again. The same thing with gold. It could get monkey hammered below 1900, but I just don't see platinum getting monkey hammered much less than below where it's at right now. And there's been some comments out there, why is platinum so low? I mean, I couldn't figure it myself. Again, I kind of feel that it will follow the price of gold and silver when gold starts to take off. Silver does too, and this is what I've been saying to all you silver guys out there. Even if you don't buy any bit of gold, follow the price of gold silver stackers, because where gold goes, silver will follow. And I've said that about platinum too, and I still believe that with platinum, but I think platinum is just rock bottom. Premiums are really reasonable out there. And when's the best time to buy something, folks? When nobody else wants it, especially commodities like this, all right? And it just seems so cheap. But again, as a commenter made mention last Friday, is the reason it probably is cheap because platinum is used in industry quite a bit, all right? But so is silver too. So, if industry starts to fall backwards, perhaps maybe that'll lessen the strength of silver and platinum, but I kind of doubt it. These are two commodities that are just way too cheap to begin with from an investor standpoint, and just from a standpoint of all the other commodities that have risen except for these precious metals here. And gold's done well. Gold's done extremely well. Gold's already hit its all-time high and almost hit its all-time high 3 or 4 times. Silver has yet to even come close to its all-time high since 1980 and 2012. So, in my opinion, silver is vastly undervalued and underpriced. But again, one of the most manipulated markets out there is the Crimex, Comex markets owned by the CME Group. This is my opinion, and people's opinions that are way smarter than myself as well. And while I'm being a talking head here on YouTube, I just wanted to do a quick refresh. Markets are about the same. I didn't put up the 24-hour charts. You know what? I was just going to go grab them because I normally do it, but let's do a switcheroo here and try a little different format here. I think the 24-hour charts are going to show me nothing except for a flat line, kind of a straight flat line. Follow my cursor here from Sunday night throughout Monday. Same thing with silver, and almost the same thing with platinum. Just flat lining. It was really weird since last week even. But now we're seeing today, we're starting to see some action to the upside in gold and platinum, and gold and silver, and again, platinum down a little bit. And this recent action, since I visually saw it this morning where it was sideways, it must have just happened recently with sometime in the last half hour. So that's what the 24-hour charts are going to show you, that this climb right here, $10 climb and 38-cent climb, is again in the last half hour because I've been watching it. Hey, that's what I get paid to do. 24, almost 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I'm actually watching the gold and silver prices since 1977 mostly, except for a time or two where I kind of got out of the business a little bit. Well, here's my quote of the day. I got a lot of quotes of the day, don't I? No, quote of the day was this one. We're going to give TJ, I'm going to call him TJ. We're going to give TJ the quote of the day here. And I'm just kind of talking about what we've got going on with the Crimex markets, the LMB. Dealing with manipulation is all, and this is what my videos have been about for almost 2 years now, okay? For 2 years, I've kind of droned about this message of manipulation, and it gets old. I mean, you do these videos every day, and people ask me, well, Brian, why do you talk about politics, economics, fishing, and all the other stuff? Well, I got to tell you, if I just said manipulation, the word manipulation every day, who would click the video? I wouldn't even want to do the videos if that's all I talked about every day. But, of course, I like to tie in economics, politics, because I believe it has a lot to do with the price of gold and silver. I believe that our social disorder, order, whatever you want to call it, our Constitution, all has to do with the price of gold and silver. Legal money, and as a friend of mine would say, God's money, okay? And it is gold and silver, and it has a lot to do with the, look at what gold is doing. I mean, we were told by morons out there, and I shouldn't say morons. When it comes to gold and silver, a lot of people are morons. So I'm going to call Warren Buffett a moron when it comes to gold and silver, because he made the comment that they're just shiny rocks and nobody, all right? So Warren Buffett, I think that was Warren Buffett's shiny rock comment is moronic. And hey, listen, everyone's an expert at something. Got to give Buffett his due. He's an expert in what he does, but when it comes to the problem with most people is we confuse expertise in one area with expertise in all other areas. I'm telling you, I've met some brilliant doctors that couldn't add 1 + 1. I shouldn't say that, but I've met some brilliant teachers, scientists. I've met a lot of brilliant people out there that were brilliant in their careers. And this is what our media does as well. They go to brilliant people, look, sports stars who are brilliant on the field or brilliant in whatever sport they're doing. And then we ask them about politics or economics. And oftentimes, not always, there's some people that their brilliance extends into another topic or two, like myself. When it comes to certain things, I'm a moron, man. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. Everyone has their expertise, all right? And what happens is when you get outside that expertise, or you start to listen to people that are outside their expertise just because they're brilliant in something else, But anyways, how did I, the D word, ready? I'm gonna have a drink of coffee, but the D word, I'm gonna say the D word. How did I digress? Well, watching my videos, you gotta ask yourself how I don't digress. So dealing with manipulation is all about reading between the lines. That's what I've been teaching you. That's what I've been showing you. That's what my videos have all been about, is explaining to, giving you the word from GATorg, who talks about the manipulation of gold by governments and by their crony corporations that they use to manipulate the price of gold. I give you that information from Ted Butler, and I'm showing you and sharing that stuff with you about the manipulation, so you know who the manipulators are and how it's done. Ted Butler, for example, says, with comics, the comics is supposed to be an open auction market, not run by a collusive group of manipulating banks, and we're not one mining company that legitimately hedges. He's absolutely correct. Ted Butler, listen, I'm going to just say it. He's absolutely correct, man. Ted Butler understands that the silver market is probably one of the most manipulated markets in the entire commodities markets, at least what we're aware of. Remember, Ted's Butler specialty and my specialty is silver, so maybe we're making that assumption, and there's some guy out there in currency markets or in the wheat market saying, you guys don't know shit. We're even more manipulated. Again, remember, everyone has their expertise, including myself, Ted Butler, and GATA.org. But what we do know, the shit is being manipulated, folks, majorly by COMEX, the LMBA, and other entities, big collusive banks. And you got to know this. And this goes back to the little saying that I had back here, which is where it goes. Never fire warning shots, a waste of ammunition. No. I'm not encouraging anyone to go after the CME or COMEX groups. But you know what? When I look at this quote right here, never fire warning shots, a waste of ammunition, I'm going to look at it from the verbal standpoint, not from the standpoint of firing a real firearm, but fire off your opinion, fire off what you do know. Don't give warning shots. Start firing off to your politicians. Start firing off to your corporate media. Start firing off to the manipulators, CME. Start calling the CME group, man. Their website's on here. They give you a phone number. Start calling the Crimex. Start telling them that you're sick of the manipulation. Don't give any more warning shots. Just fire them off, man. Let these people know that you're aware of what they're doing. That's the first step. The first thing in recognizing there's an issue or recognizing problem is recognizing there's an issue to begin with, and we know that already. So, COMEX, LBMA, this is basically what they've got the gold market and the silver market, and obviously the platinum market doing is sleeping. They basically killed it to their benefit. And I'm going to talk about this even more. Listen, with the Russians, here, let me move over to, by the way, Weekend at Bernie's, great movie, and boy, that's about got it right. The LMBA and COMEX propping up their paper gold markets, all right? However, sees Russian yachts create serious headaches for Marine as unpaid bills pile up. Folks, this is a perfect example of a lot of these multi-billionaires and billionaire Roman Abramovich and these guys, they may have gotten their money in seedy and unusual ways. I'm not sure of that. I'm no proof of that, but it might be likely. However, what right did the United States government, European governments have to go take away property owned by the citizens of Russia? None. None, folks. That's just pure outright theft what they've done. Seized. I know it's hard to feel sorry for multi-billionaire Russian oligarchs. It's hard to feel bad for them, but folks, what we've done and what Europeans have done and what the governments have done and officials have done, outright theft. Listen, if they can do it to billionaires, all right, they can do it to us. And do not trust your government. I don't care where you live in the world right now, United States, whatever. Man, I hate to sound like I've become anti-government. I'm anything but. I'm pro-government to many degrees. I'm pro-good government, but that's not what we got right now in the global, in the global world. How does this tie into the price of gold and silver, folks? Well, the nice thing about gold and silver is if you physically own it in your hands, you don't have that counterparty risk, okay? Unless they come and physically take it away from you. Yachts are a different story. You can just block a yacht from leaving, but gold and silver is in your hands. That's why they don't want you to have it, folks, because they want control over you. They want to control every effing thing you do. And how's the best? They can try to control you with laws, stupid laws. They can try to control you with the threats of punishment, the threats of death. But you know how they really control you? You know what people don't want anyone messing with? Their money. So this is why I've talked about CBDCs being extremely dangerous, gold and silver being an extremely safe metal. They're never going to confiscate it from you. They'd have to go door to door. That's why when people talk about confiscation, I laugh at them. They can confiscate your yacht, they can confiscate your house, or they can just put liens on it. IRS can do that. By the way, your house is not safe from IRS. They can put a lien on your house even if you got it homesteaded. So the governments are not to be trusted, nor are their agencies. And I'm talking about global, worldwide. There might be a couple good governments out there in some islands or some Caribbean countries, that have about the population of 800,000 people. But I don't know any good governments anymore. Our governments have been exploited and taken over, again, worldwide, by morons, idiots, power control freaks, and criminals. That's exactly what we got going on out there. And I just wanted to bring this up. This is illegal. This is just pure theft, folks. Pure theft. And when you live in a world where governments and government officials can just outright steal stuff and justify it, we're screwed. And in a world where the media tries to make it sound okay with their propaganda bullshit. Best thing I ever did was turn off corporate news, folks. They suck. They suck. They suck. Couple interesting things on ZH, and again, people say, Brian, if I'm going to, oh, by the way, I will talk about gold and silver. We're going to get into GATorg. I'm going to talk about what the best deals out there and what are the premiums like. So if you want to skip my political part, I'd say just wait until you see me on these pages right here. And then we're going to get into yesterday's video a little bit. So where am I going to go with here? Boy, I'm on a roll today. I like seeing this. Elon is an interesting character. I can't say I agree with. And here's another thing with Elon. Remember what I told you about people being brilliant in their fields? Well, he's brilliant in a couple fields and stuff. I mean, obviously what he does, what made him billions of dollars. But I do think the guy is truly a constitutionalist. I really do. And I think anyone that is constitutionalist believes in the Constitution the way it is and the way it was written, not the amendments. I'm cool with amendments, but the original, the Constitution itself. I believe Elon's brilliant in some things, but boy, he does make some stupid comments and some stupid, again, just shows you, just because you're a billionaire and you're brilliant doesn't mean you're brilliant in everything. But again, on this issue, I think he is brilliant. I hope he does bring free speech to Twitter the best he can. He's got my support. God, I even may buy a stock in his name just to support the guy. But no, he he needs it, right? Oh boy. And EU, God, morons that run the EU. You know what? I feel for the people in the UK. I feel for the people in France. When I traveled across Europe, man, people are great. And again, Europe. I love Europe. You know what I hate about Europe? It's government. So, same thing I can say about my own. And again, don't hate government. Let me rephrase this. Don't hate government at all. I love governments. All right. I don't like the people that run them. I think that there needs to be a huge shakeout, a huge washout here before they become too oppressive, which they're already trying already. And again, if they become too oppressive, just shoot back, folks. And I meant that verbally, of course. Let's take a look here. There we go. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Just seeing if there's anything here that we can kind of bite into and chew on here, but it's the same old shit. Looks like SOS. Washington blocks Russian, of course they are, because again, folks, there's nothing like a good. The best offense is a good defense, and that's exactly what Washington D.C. and this current administration is doing. You know how? You know why? They're throwing back bullshit so we can ignore what the real issue was. And the real issue about Ukraine, you've heard me say it 100 times, is that in 2014, 2016, the current, or not the current administration, the administration at that time, with the help of the CIA and the State Department, threw a coup. Where? Ukraine, 2014-16. This is a fact, folks. I didn't make this shit up. In 2014-16, our United States government, under that administration, threw a coup. We did. We divided a country that was actually getting along, even though there was a lot of long-standing separation between parts of Ukraine, between the Russian-speaking, which is half the country, and the Ukrainian-speaking, which is the other half of the country, has always had separation issues. They've always had elections that were close, or one side was not happy. But in 2014, 2016, our morons and idiots running the administration at the time decided to have a freedom color revolution in Ukraine. So we separated that country in half in 2014 and 16, and we fucked it totally. All right, now. And then the Russians go in, and well, you know the routine. Of course, we started trying to put weapons along their border, but I'm not going into a long history of this. Most of you know it, and anybody that hasn't, just watch Ukraine on Fire by Oliver Stone. Interesting video that hits it spot on. But anyways, best offense is a good defense, and that's exactly what we get. Well, best defense is good offense. So what we got going on right now is Washington just throwing bombs at Russia right now over this whole thing, when in fact they created it. They did. Our government created this, folks. Now they're trying to make it sound, I don't know. This again is why I'm talking about we need a serious revolution in this country. Start with a peaceful revolution. If it doesn't work that way, frickin' tar and feather their asses and ride them out of town on a rail. I'll build the rail for it. Okay, and let's key. Yeah, that's pretty scary. I've been talking about buying food, but I always talk about buying food before the even scary stuff like this came up because of hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. Folks, I highly recommend out there, get some freeze-dried, get some food that'll last for a while in the event of some kind of shortage. You just never know, man. And I don't want to scream paranoia and, oh my God, the world's falling apart. But yeah, it is, isn't it? The world's not falling apart. We're fine. I'm fine. You're fine. Our neighbors are fine. You know who's falling apart? Is these morons that run the governments. And again, I like to include everybody: corporate media, corrupt corporations who are no longer free market corporations, but they're crony corporations that get the government to do the work for them, get special favors, get bailed out, too big to bail, too big to fail, too big to jail. Russia is quietly making the case for owning gold, all right? Man, I'm telling you why Europe and the United States officials and government are playing checkers. These guys are playing 3D chess. Same thing with the Chinese, all right? Until we get some intelligent people in Washington, D.C., and empty out all these agencies. I don't know, I'm going to mention agencies because actually I'm fearful of mentioning them. But see, there you go. When you fear agencies, that you don't even want to mention their name. But we need to take these agencies and get rid of them. Either get rid of them or completely clean them out and get them doing the right thing. That includes the health agencies as well, the ones that, Fauci's and all these guys. Let's see, unfinished. God, there's some good stuff here. Hey, I recommend you hit the ZH today. I'd read this, Unfinished Brexit Business NATO's Internal Gold War. Wow, that looks like a good one. The Queen's inspecting the bars there that they don't own. She thinks she owns them. And here, this looks like Baltimore. Eerie drone footage shows deserted Shanghai downtown as lockdown extended. I swear Baltimore this last weekend was maybe not as quiet as that, but folks, I've been going to Baltimore for 30-something years, 40 years now for the coin show up there. And I've never seen it. It looked like an apocalypse, man. It was like most of the restaurants were closed. It's not just Shanghai that's empty. Our major U.S. cities here are in big freaking trouble, folks. Things are worse than they're telling you. There's no doubt in my mind about this. And again, great reason to own gold and silver in your pocket. Physically own it, not own the paper bullshit, which can be cut off or stolen from you at any time. They just steal shit now, folks. And, oh man, killed the kitty. That's sad. All right, now I don't like Elon too much now. Your car killed a kitty, dude. See, we're being ruled by criminals. We really are, folks. There's no doubt about it. And here's two of them right there. All right, I'm getting out of here and going to GATA.org. I'm going to just brief over some articles. Again, GATA.org should be on your bookmark bar. It should be one of your saved bookmark bars. You should be reading it once a week. They have good articles. By the way, they explain to you how the markets are rigged in gold. I don't think they talk about silver as well as Ted Butler, man. He knows his silver stuff. If there's any go-to person when it comes to silver manipulation, how it's done, is Ted Butler. Just type his name in. If you haven't heard my video before, you'll learn a lot from Ted Butler. Just type in Ted Butler silver manipulation. You'll learn as much as you need to know, and you can subscribe to his articles like I do. I haven't read his recent one either, by the way. I got to do that today, maybe. Let you know tomorrow. GAT.org does the same thing. They talk about gold manipulation. They've been around for a long time. They explain the basics. I've never read the confiscation thing in here because I think confiscation of gold and silver is bullshit. You've seen my videos, and you know why. $1795 spec. I'm a coin dealer as well. I've been a coin dealer since about the same time I started doing bullion. My dad did precious metals and rare coins and paper money. I'm pretty good at all three of those. But that's kind of interesting. Silver dollar selling for $1.25 million, and I wonder who owned that one. Oh gosh, it actually was I was at the show this week, and it was there. I didn't even see it. My gosh, shows you how out of touch I am with that market. But then again, I don't buy many $1.25 million coins or sell them. Disputes, gold mine disputes. Pam and Russ Martins are continuing to talk about something that I've talked about for months now, is that I believe the presidential plunge team, the plunge protection team, the presidential working group, which is a group between the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and the president's little organization of criminals. Again, that's my opinion, where they can get together in secret and manipulate any frickin' market they want. See, I almost said the F word, and they do. And I believe they've been doing it with they've been propping up the stock and equities markets here, preventing an overnight crash, because the only thing those fuckers learned, I said it, sorry, there's your drink of the day. The only thing those guys learned was don't let it crash. Do anything but, instead of fixing it in 2008, the only lessons these stupid bastards learned was just throw more money at it and don't let it crash. All right, that's it. And when really they should have let 2008 just crash. You know why you let things crash, folks? You know why you let a system implode, explode, whatever you want to call it? Because you can't save everybody, and if you just try to patch it over, the collapse is going to be even bigger and worse, is what we're looking at now. Okay, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be worse, far worse. All right, when you get to a point where markets are about to collapse, you let them. You know why? Because the pickup, the cleanup is going to be a lot easier. If you let the big banks collapse back in 2008, you let them collapse, there would have been a lot of pain, folks. But instead of delaying the pain and just putting Band-Aids over a gaping wound like they have since 2008, filling it with plasma as the patient's still bleeding out through these bandages, that's all they've done since 2008. Instead of doing that, let the patient die, okay? And then I don't say let the patient die, that's a tough one, but that's where the analogy doesn't work. But let the banks fail, let these organizations fail. There can be a lot of pain, but again, by propping the patient up, you just make the problems worse. You just made the patient live through another 10 years of agonizing pain, only to let them to die far worse and screw up their families far worse. Let the thing go. Let it go. They should have let it go in 2008. Why you let it go? Because the banks that weren't stupid, the institutions and corporations that weren't stupid would have picked up the pieces because they would have survived this. They saw the writing on the wall. They had strength. They would have picked this up and they would have become stronger, better corporations. Instead, we've rewarded idiocy by throwing more money at it. And these same banks, these same morons, are still in business, folks. In fact, we even reward them for their manipulated bullshit behavior. Wow, long one today. And I believe, again, as I said, look at this title right here. Why we're playing checkers ineptly, they're playing 3D chess brilliantly, okay? And I'm going to read some of these articles tonight. I'll let you know tomorrow. But I recommend you read GATorg for sure. And tonight I'll read Ted Butler. I think he's probably got a new article out on what's going on in the silver markets. I'll read those to you tomorrow. Folks, nothing has changed as far as premium goes. The silver prices are still ridiculously manipulatively low. There's lack of investor-type small bars, 1 ounce, 10 ounce, 100. I mean, 100-ounce bars are still available, but the premiums are crazy, man. I mean, look, almost $5. That's as low as, but almost $5 over for 1 ounce products. But here's what I can tell you: try to buy the least expensive premium that you can for recognizable products. And when I say recognizable, not by you, your neighbor, your buddy, but recognizable in the industry, which means most of the generic products. Avoid all the sovereign products. The prices are just too stupid, man. Silver Maples, Silver Eagles especially, do not buy them. They're overpriced, way, way overpriced. Don't buy the stuff. Stick with generics what you can. And I don't even like the price of generics right now, folks. But if you want to own silver, you know the old saying, if the game, of course the game is rigged, but if you don't play, you can't win. If you're going to buy silver right now, stick with the least expensive premiums, and that is going to be generics and 100-ounce bars first. I can say the same thing about gold, except gold is more available out there. Gold is not as hard to get as silver, especially in the smaller quantities. But I'm still saying stick with bars. They are the cheapest product out there. American Eagles and Buffaloes are over $130. Again, not a ripoff, not too bad. The prices aren't like Silver Eagles are far bigger, terrible price. Gold Eagles, not so terrible price when you figure where the price of gold is, but there are cheaper products, less expensive products, and those would be gold bars, the different Swiss gold bars I would recommend. Again, you can buy them substantially cheaper. I could go on about this, show you all the different products, but what I just told you in a nutshell is everything you need to know right now. If anything changes, I'll let you know on my videos and stuff, again, what the best deals are. Right now, best deals, generic 1 ounce rounds. Hang on. Best deal right now, and as I'm doing a little research and see what the saleability is, 40% U.S. silver bags. It occurred to me yesterday, I forgot to mention that in today's video, and I'll talk about them tomorrow because they seem to be reasonable and nobody wants them really, and it's good silver. Let's take a look at yesterday's video. I didn't get a chance to talk about all the folks that commented. Yesterday's video, Capital Currency, went to the Baltimore show. Did I meet you on Saturday, Capital Currency? Was that you? Two folks, viewers, came to the Baltimore show to meet me, which I thank you very much. The two gentlemen that came to meet me in Baltimore, I really appreciate it. It was nice of you to come, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And Capital Currency, I hope you enjoyed the show too. It looks like you picked up some cool stuff. And you got your first Morgan GSA. That's pretty cool. There are plenty available out there as well. You probably paid around $400, I suspect, or less, hopefully. And again, if you did, next time you're at the show, come and see me first. Tree Climber, silver premiums are rising. Yep, that's true. Mark, thanks for commenting. I believe that's, not sure, Florida, April 4th gold, okay. First prize, yeah, that's true. T, what's up, T? Thank you. T, I really appreciate sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you too much about you yesterday in the video. Thank you for a really great interview. I appreciate it, and like your channel. And for you folks that aren't familiar with T the Stacker, he visits coin shops, he talks to different people. He saw me last week, and he did a video on his channel, which you can go to and see. It's called T the Silver Stacker. Thanks again, T. I really appreciate it. And let's see. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed my talk with him as well, just as much as he did with me, maybe. Yeah, Mark, gosh darn time. Wow, boy, you kind of read my mind today, didn't you, sir? And again, verbally. Let's start shooting at them verbally. First, you start with the verbal shooting, and then you start shooting other stuff at them. But I'm not going to say what that is. But again, that's the last resort. Start verbally shooting off at them. Let them know that we know they're liars and get in their faces. Remember when they said that, get in their faces? Well, it's our time to get in their faces, folks. And everyone from the CMEs to CFTC to your politicians to your corporate media, get in their faces. Liquid Electrum, I think it was going up anyway, but I believe this might be a catalyst that'll put a bottom on it. My understanding is that Putin said that he would buy gold at the current ruble rate of $15.50 per ounce, which is not really caused the price to go up, but he put a bottom on it. Think about that. So more or less, the bottom is in as far as gold goes. What is that? It's 1,550 rubles. Strange times for sure, Welch Coast Services. And you're all premium club people to me, folks. You always have been. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Hager. I appreciate that, Mr. Hodler. And boy, you'd like to see my fish tank. Maybe drop a gold coin in the tank. All right, I'll consider that. Problem with me doing that is anytime I do something in an iPhone, it takes 24 hours to upload it. PPTR tax dollars at work. Oh, what a coincidental statement. Heart of Texas, what's up? Big J. And yeah, I'm back. Yep. Come by and visit me if you're coming down this way. Yeah, thousands of flights were canceled. I am so lucky. My sister got me the last flight. She's my bookkeeper here in the store, and some of you have met her here in the store. She got me my last flight coming in to Southwest this morning, or yesterday morning. I'm sorry. It's been a long day and hasn't even started. Hey, Silverman, Silver Highway, what's up, man? Yeah, I remember that movie, Charlie Bronson. God, I love Charlie Bronson. He was the original good dude. He's coming for him. Well, that's probably true. What a PETA. Yep, I can't argue with that. Hey, I guess I got all the comments. I'd like to thank everyone for watching yesterday's video. And, of course, I'm going to end it with my theme of the year, my meme of the year, whatever you want to call it. Folks, think for yourself. Oh, there we go. Almost lost it there. Let me reduce that a little bit. Oh, gosh, as you can see, computer stuff is not my expertise. Think for yourself and question authority. This is especially important in these times, and it's important to teach your friends, your family, and your kids this stuff. Think for yourself and question authority. And as you know, I've been extending it. Question what you think you know. Question the narrative in your mind, folks, because where did you get it from? School, corporate media, your parents. You know, it may not be your own. So there's never too late in your life to even question your own narrative. And you know what? Sometimes you become more enlightened, smarter, better when you do that. And I believe that 100%. I've questioned my narrative, and I believe I'm a much smarter, better person for it. And I recommend everyone do the same. Hey, this is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins. Who am I? I'm a South Florida coin shop and precious metal dealer that will beat APMEX, SD, and JM Bullion. Unfortunately, I am only in South Florida, so if you can't come and visit me, I recommend you find a good local dealer. Of course, I like APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion. I think they're good companies. I don't think you're ever going to send your money to them and hear they disappeared. Although there's no guarantees in life, I do think they're good, strong companies. And why do I constantly say I'm going to beat them? Because I'm competitive. I'm a small local dealer, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to let my local folks send their money to another state where it will never get spent in their own state again. Spend the money locally, folks. I can't stress that enough. Nothing wrong with those big companies, but any small business people should be able to beat any of those big online companies, unless they run a special for a day or two that loses money just to get more customers, which does happen. I've seen a couple of them run specials on stuff that was like at their cost, simply just to get business in. And it's hard for a small dealer to do that. But for the most part, 98% of the time, small dealers and your local dealer should be able to beat the pants off of these big online guys. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.